Hi there, good evening. Welcome to 12 Days of Communication and Confidence. I am Tahira Bell, and I'm so excited about tonight's topic because normally I work directly with the girls. Most of what I do is coaching and speaking to girls. But this 12 days is all about you. And tonight's topic literally came from the mouths of my clients. Literally, what I'm going to share with you tonight are the words of the teen girls themselves. What I did was put together a list of the top 10 things that I hear my clients say over and over again that are just such a common theme that I remember them. I literally sat down and wrote the list, and I'm not saying that every single girl says every single thing, but these are common themes that I hear all the time. And I believe, at least my hope is, that with the insight that you get from hearing their thoughts, you can maybe tweak your perspective or make a slight change in something that you're doing at home because of this insight, and do something a little different that will bring you closer and improve your communication, okay? Because when you know better, you do better. And so hopefully tonight we'll shed some light on some things that maybe you really didn't know your daughter was thinking, okay? My name is Tahira Bell. If you don't know me, I'm a life coach for teen girls, a youth speaker and teen advocate, and I have literally been working with teenagers since I was a teenager. I consider myself a forever educator because I started out in the classroom and have been working with teens in classroom settings and out since I left college. I absolutely love the work that I do. I genuinely love this age group, and I'm really, really excited to share some of the things that I've learned over the last 15 plus years that I've been working with girls. All right, so tonight's is going to be quick. It's a list of 10 simple things. Take what makes sense to you, leave what doesn't. I hope you learned something, and we're going to go ahead and get right started. Okay, number one. I hear this all the time. Your daughter, she really does look up to you, especially moms, okay? She looks up to you. She respects you. She even values your opinion. She even wants your opinion, but she isn't necessarily going to ask for it. And even though deep down she likes to know what it is, she doesn't act like she even wants to consider it, okay? If you just volunteer your opinion, she's going to roll her eyes, but I promise you, deep down, she already knows. You've been with her since she was born. So she already knows what you think. And trust me, when she's out in the world and has to make decisions, it's in there, okay? So number one, she looks up to you, she respects you, and deep down, she even wants to have a really close relationship, a best friend type relationship, as one of my clients said, with you as her mom and you as her dad, all right? Number two, when she talks to you, when she comes to you with her problems, it's not necessarily because she wants you to fix it. Sometimes she really just wants to vent. Sometimes she gets home from school and she's so frustrated or stressed or overwhelmed that she wants to get it out. She wants to say what happened, but she doesn't want you to solve her problems. She knows she can figure it out. She will when she's ready. But just because she's venting, just because she's complaining, doesn't mean she wants you to fix the problem right away or solve it for her. Okay? Does that make sense? Is that pretty straightforward? I hope so. She just wants to know that she's being heard and that she is a safe place to vent and get things off her chest. All right, here's the next one. Let me just say this. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? I'm telling you what they say. Take it or leave it, believe me or not, but I promise you this is what they say. You're not going to like this one. Her phone is really necessary. social media is not just for fun. Teen girls really, really, really find what happens on social media to be an important part of their lives. They feel so disconnected when they can't keep up with what's going on Instagram and Snapchat and all the social platforms. And so it drives them absolutely crazy when you act like it's a toy or it's a game or it's something that they really shouldn't be paying attention to. Yes, they're glued to their phones. Yes, they talk on them and text and do everything too much. And I'm not saying you have to agree with them. I don't agree with them, right? But what I am saying is that by understanding just how important it is to them, you can be sensitive to it when you approach conversations, when you talk about it. And what I do with families I work with is I really recommend, and with every family it'll look different, but what I really recommend for you to do is come up with a policy, come up with a system, find a way to find a common ground where everyone in your household can come to terms with what you're going to do, as far as managing these cell phones. I have some clients who turn their phones in at night. They have to put them on their parents', dresser or nightstand. I have some who, when it's study time and they're doing homework, say they're doing homework in their bedrooms, the phones need to be downstairs in a central area, like somewhere in the kitchen. You kind of have to tweak it and figure out what works for you. I have other families who, parents included, leave the cell phones off the dinner table. So you can find a way to have some boundaries. And as far as social media goes, it's not going anywhere. We can fight it if we want to. We're all here on social media now. But my suggestion is to definitely figure out what platforms they're on, definitely understand how they work. And I even had one parent, and I actually really love this. Her daughter's 17, and she got on Snapchat. She just made up her mind to figure it out. And let me tell you what happened. She got on there. She added her daughter as a friend on Snapchat, and they found out that they had a lot in common in terms of how they like to be silly. And so they would just do all these silly things that you can do on Snapchat, and it brought them closer. It gave them a connection and a chance to kind of let their hair down, let loose, have a sense of humor together because they were on Snapchat. That improved communication. That brought them closer. So it doesn't all have to be bad. Thank you. Thank you all so much for joining. Hey, everyone. Let me say hello to who's coming in. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We are talking about 10 things your teen daughter really wants you to know, but she probably won't tell you herself. And I literally made a list that came out of the mouths of the girls that I work with. So again, these are not my thoughts, not my personal opinions, but this is what they say to me. And so I really want to take advantage of an opportunity to share with you. Okay, we're on number 4. Number 4. She really doesn't like it when you have conversations about family issues that she's aware of, but you don't include her in them. So this is like when there's, the big family secret, or, the stressful situation going on between you two as parents, right? Let me tell you, she knows all about it. She knows the secrets, whatever it is. You may not think she knows, but she knows. And what I hear from girls is they just can't stand it when their parents don't talk to them about it, when they're not open about it, because they know what's going on. And all it does is make them feel isolated and make them feel like you're treating them like a child. Because what ends up happening is, your parent will say something like, you're just too young, you don't understand, maybe when you get older, like that kind of stuff. They don't like to hear it. And it's really conflicting, because think about it. Now look at it from their perspective. In one side, or in one example or one instance, right? You are telling her, I need you to be responsible. I need you to be mature. You're almost an adult. You need to get ready for college. But then when it comes to the grown-up conversations, she's completely left out of them. So it sends like a mixed signal. It sends a mixed message to her, right? Because one minute you're telling her to grow up, and the next minute you're telling her she's too young to understand. They can't stand that. And so I'm not telling you you have to tell all your business. I'm not telling you what to do, but I am telling you so that you can be aware and so you can figure out a way to make this work in your favor. Okay? That's number 4. Here's number 5. This one's about clothes, and this one's funny because it takes so many different forms with different girls. But basically, the bottom line is she doesn't normally choose her outfits to look a certain way. She's not trying to, wear the slinky dress or whatever for the reasons that you may be thinking. Deep down, she really is just trying to fit in. And yes, it's influenced by what she sees on Instagram. And yes, it's influenced by what she sees other girls wearing at school or on TV or whatever the case may be. But she wants to experiment. She wants to see how can she express herself with her clothes, with her jewelry, with, whatever it is that she's deciding to do, normally that you may not necessarily like. But what I hear all the time is, my parents are telling me I'm showing too much skin or I'm doing that and I don't want to get a name for myself, that kind of thing. And they're like, I'm really not trying to dress that way. It's just that. And then we have the conversation. So by all means, teach your daughters how to dress according to what you feel is appropriate, but also think about when there's a time and when there's a place that she can really explore and express herself. Number 6. All right. And listen, if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments. I'm trying to keep up with them when I see them come in. I'm happy to answer questions. You can message me. I actually got a message yesterday and I'm going to speak to that on another day. So thank you for sending in your questions, because the more that I hear from you that you want to hear about, I can tailor what we talk about over the next 12 days to really match what you're looking for. Renee, oh my goodness, we have to talk. I am so happy to see you joined. How are you? We're talking about 10 things that your daughter wants you to know, but probably won't tell her yourself. So thank you for being here. Number 6. I hear this one all the time. Sometimes she just wants to be alone. She just wants some space to think. She doesn't want you to worry. She doesn't want you to think she's depressed. She really doesn't want you to get upset just because she is. Because what happens then, honestly, they start feeling more pressure. They're like, well, if I'm upset and my mom knows I'm upset, then she's going to get upset. And, that's just a lot to carry. So what I hear, and it comes on in different ways, but some girls, they're introverts. They just literally need after school that time to just decompress and be alone. Some girls are processing the day and they just want to think. They want to sit, they want to listen to their music and just kind of let things happen in their minds. And they just want to be alone. It doesn't say anything about you as the parent. They're not trying to be mean. They're not trying to be nasty, but sometimes they want the alone time. And here's the funny thing. They know that their parents need that time too, but they don't understand. They're like, I know they need their downtime. And I've had girls tell me, dad needs to have his minute when he gets home from work on the couch. Why can't I? Or my mom needs to have her, girl time or whatever it is, her me time. Why can't I? Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you for being here. You're welcome. You're welcome. This is so fun. And I'm excited to share, things that I hear from girls that I think can benefit parents. That was number 6, right? Okay. Number 7. But one more thing I want to say real quick about number 6. Your daughter doesn't want to be responsible for your mood. Just because she's in a bad mood, because she can be in a bad mood a lot, right? They're hormonal. They're all over the place. They have attitudes, all kind of stuff. But she doesn't want to know that just because she's in a bad mood, you're going to be in a bad mood. All right? Because again, that's just putting pressure on her. It's okay for you to still be happy when she's got a funky attitude. Okay? I promise you. She told me to tell you that. Number 7. And this one's kind of tied to number 6. She really wants to see you have fun. She really wants to see you have your own life outside of being a parent. As parents, we can sometimes really make it all about the kids. But your teenage daughter, not only does she want to see you have a life of your own, she needs to see that you have a life of your own. And I spoke about this a little bit yesterday when I said, you know, she needs to see that you are honoring your goals, honoring your dreams. You know, I think yesterday the example I gave was if you're chasing one of your own dreams or you're following something that you're passionate about, you're giving her permission to do the same when she has a family. Okay, so don't be afraid to have the girls' night. Don't be afraid to have the date night. Have fun, have a life outside of being a parent, and she'll be totally fine with it. She loves that, okay? Number 9. We've got 2 more. And this one, I'm going to speak about more either tomorrow or Monday next week because this one needs a lot more attention. I have girls tell me all the time, you know, I would talk to my mom, but she's just going to freak out. I want to talk to my dad, but oh my gosh, he is going to freak out if I tell him this. They say it all the time. They want to open up to you, but they already know when you hear about, you know, whatever it may be, they already know. They're like, my mom's going to freak out. My dad's going to freak out. That is what they say verbatim. So in an effort to improve communication and to build a stronger connection, we'll talk about, I'm going to dedicate an entire day to this because it's so important. We'll talk about how you can really listen and hear what's going on in her lives without having to freak out about it, okay? So we'll come back to that one. The last one, I told y'all today was going to be quick. Here's the last one. It's awkward to talk about sex, but guess what? They really want you to. They want you to bring it up. They want you to talk about it. They want to know how you feel, where you stand. It's awkward for them too. They're trying to figure out their own position on it. They're trying to figure out what their beliefs are, what they think. And let me tell you what I'm hearing more and more now, like literally in the last 3 years or so, a lot of teens are saying that our generation as parents are too judgmental. So they want to talk to you about things like sexuality. They want to talk to you about things like STDs. They find it unfair when they don't hear it from you. So if you're one of those parents who's kind of hush-hush when it comes to sex, don't be. Don't be afraid to bring it up. Be the parent. Be in charge. Yes, she's going to say it's awkward. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. But I promise you she wants to talk to you about it. And that's it. Those are the 10 things that your daughters really, really want you to know, but she may not exactly tell you herself. Thank you all for being here. Yes, Falana, you are an amazing role model. Absolutely amazing role model for your daughter. I am Tahira Bell. I really appreciate you all being here. Please feel free to drop any questions or comments that you have for me in the comments under the video or send me a direct message and I will be happy to get back to you. Let me see. I was in college before. Right, Jasmine. My mother too. We didn't talk about it, right? And as teens, they talk about it. We talked about it, right? So why not bring it up? Thank you for sharing that. It is so true. Don't be afraid about it. I have resources. If you need to know what book, what DVD, whatever, let me know. I will send you stuff that you can use to talk to your girls about sex. It doesn't have to be a scary thing. I'm going to go off and enjoy the rest of my Saturday night. My family's waiting for me to have a movie night. And I don't know about you all. If you're like everyone I know, there's a bunch of holiday parties and everything going on. So enjoy those. I'll be at home. I'm not going anywhere. But thank you for joining. I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 5. Bye.